Imagine this. A millionaire so powerful, so feared, that no one dares speak his name without trembling. Lies perfectly still on his bedroom floor, eyes closed, breath shallow. But he's not dying. He's listening. And what he's about to hear will break him, heal him, and change everything forever. Keep watching, because the twist coming in the next minute will leave you speechless. The wealthy and feared businessman, Adrian Cole, had spent years building a reputation as the coldest millionaire in the city. Distant, controlled, and impossible to read. But the truth was, he was exhausted. Tired of a life spent surrounded by people who wanted his money more than his presence. One morning, after another brutal board meeting and a night of almost no sleep, he collapsed inside his mansion. The staff panicked, calling the doctor at once. The doctor examined him and calmly announced that Adrian had fainted from stress and fatigue. Nothing life-threatening. But he should rest. Yet, when they moved him to his bedroom to lie down, Adrian, half awake and frustrated, made a sudden decision. One that even he didn't fully understand. He pretended to remain unconscious. Maybe he wanted peace. Maybe he wanted to hear what people truly thought of him when he wasn't listening. Or maybe he was simply tired of the world and needed a moment to disappear. But everything changed when Elena, the new maid, who had been working in the mansion for only 3 weeks, walked into the room. Adrian had never paid much attention to her. She was quiet, always keeping her head down, always doing her work quickly, and disappearing again like a shadow. But now, as she entered with a bowl of warm water and a cloth, he sensed something different. Her footsteps were hesitant, her breathing quick, almost trembling. She closed the door gently behind her, then sat at his bedside. Then something shocking happened. She took his hand in both of hers, and her voice cracked as she whispered, "Mr. Cole, please don't leave this world yet. I still need to tell you something." Adrian, still pretending to sleep, felt his heart twist at her tone. Nobody had spoken to him that gently in years. He stayed still, listening. Elena wiped his forehead and continued speaking, her tears falling silently onto the back of his hand as she said, "I know you think none of us care about you. But that's not true. At least not for me." Adrian felt a jolt in his chest. For him? Why would she say that? Elena inhaled shakily and then whispered something that made Adrian's eyes almost snap open. The words that shattered him from the inside. "I've been hiding something for years. Something about your past. And I'm so sorry I didn't have the courage to tell you earlier." Adrian's mind raced. The maid knew something about him, about his past. But he forced himself to lie still, waiting. Elena continued, her voice breaking with guilt. "You don't remember me, sir. But I remember you. You saved my life once. When you were still young and not a millionaire. When you were just a kind stranger helping a terrified girl on the streets. I never forgot your face." Adrian felt a sensation he hadn't felt in decades. Pure astonishment. Memories flashed in his mind. A rainy night. A girl in trouble. A young Adrian stepping in to help her escape a dangerous man. Was that Elena? "I searched for you for years," she whispered, "because I needed to thank you. But when I finally found you, you had become unreachable. Guarded. Surrounded by walls so high no one could ever climb them. So I applied for a job here. And I told myself I would somehow repay you for what you did for me. But it's harder than I thought. You look so lonely, sir. So tired. And I don't know how to reach you." Adrian felt tears stinging behind his closed eyelids. Someone from his past. Someone he had saved. Had been right beside him all these weeks. Working quietly. Carrying a secret gratitude he knew nothing about. Elena continued, unaware he could hear every word. "And there's something else," she whispered, her voice trembling more now. "You lost your mother so young. But you never knew what really happened that day." "I do." Adrian's heart stopped. His mother's death was the deepest wound he carried. something he never spoke about. The official story had always been an accident, but nothing about it ever felt complete. Elena took a deep breath and whispered, "Your mother, she didn't die because of the fall. She died saving me." Adrian felt his breath catch. His mother, saving Elena? It didn't make sense. Elena explained, voice shaking violently. "We were in the same place that day. The same dangerous situation I was trapped in. She saw me being dragged away, and she tried to protect me. She fought the men off, even though she was terrified. She pushed me out of danger. And then, she fell." Adrian felt his world turn upside down. All these years he had carried guilt, believing he should have been there, believing he should have saved her. But the truth was something he never imagined. His mother had died being a hero, protecting a stranger. "I didn't know she was your mother back then," Elena cried softly. "Not until years later. I wanted to tell you when I recognized you. But how do you walk up to a powerful millionaire and say, 'I knew your mother. She died saving me?' I was scared you'd hate me." Adrian couldn't take it anymore. His heart pounded so loudly he feared it would give him away. Elena gently placed her hand on his cheek and whispered, "Please don't leave us. Don't leave me with this guilt forever. You deserve the truth. You deserve peace. And I just wish you knew how much your kindness changed my life." That was the moment Adrian broke. He opened his eyes, his voice raspy as he whispered her name. "Elena!" She gasped, frozen in shock, the cloth dropping from her hand as she backed away. But Adrian weakly reached out and took her wrist. "Thank you for telling me," he said. Tears streamed down both their faces. Elena knelt beside him, completely overwhelmed, apologizing again and again. But Adrian shook his head. "You've carried this alone for too long," he murmured. "And I've lived my whole life thinking kindness didn't matter. But you're living proof that it does." For the first time in years, Adrian felt human again. He felt connected to someone. And as Elena hugged him gently, he whispered, "You don't owe me anything. But thank you for staying. Thank you for caring when no one else did." In that quiet room, something changed. A broken millionaire rediscovered the truth about his past. And a maid finally released a burden she had carried for years. And as they stayed like that, healing slowly, Adrian whispered something he never thought he'd say to anyone. "Elena, don't leave me either.